Hello everyone, I'm Kevin Elias and welcome is 4Dice Boxing. Version 4.0 presents a lightweight showdown. Hector Macho Camacho, 79, 6-3 versus Vasyl Lomachenko, 18-3 in a special 10-round bout to introduce many of you to 4Dice Boxing 4.0 and to give you an idea of the gameplay. So let's get to it. If we go to the score sheet now, here's what your typical score sheet will look like. You'll be able to fill this in. It comes with the game. We look at Hector Macho Camacho in his rating, which is an 86, going against Lomachenko with a record of 18-3, but his rating is a 119.5. First, let's explain the ratings. The ratings are based solely on statistic. That would be wins, losses, knockouts, knockout percentage, if they were a world champion or not, and the entire gamut of things. It is not based subjectively in any way, shape, or form. Now, what is 4Dice Boxing, you ask? It's like a hybrid game. It's a quick play, but yet you're playing and rolling for each boxer once or twice per round. So here's how the game works. So you got Lomachenko's rating is a 119. Okay? And simply put, you got Hector Macho Camacho, his rating comes in at 86. So you simply get out your calculator, take the two ratings, 119.5 for Lomachenko versus 86 from Macho Camacho. That's a difference of 33.5. That means Lomachenko will get an advantage of 33.5 divided by 10 rounds. He will have an advantage of 3 points per round with the remaining balance placed at the beginning. See down here, Lomachenko will have an advantage of 4-point advantage for rounds 1 through 3. Rounds 4 through 10, it'll be a 3-point advantage. Now, when you look at things in the spectrum, you're going to add these scores to the dice roll for each round. And that's how it'll match up. So, let's get our dice out. We need to do that, and we're going to do that right now. We got to get our dice out for the game, and we'll be set to go. We are now set. Of course, it's called 4Dice Boxing, so you need 4 dice. Since we're showing the match and showing it virtually, we're going to have the standard ball roller used for the match. Okay, so we're going to make sure it's set up. If you don't already know how to do that, it's already set up. Base 1, we've got our 4, we're ready to go, and we're set to go. So Lomachenko gets a 4-point advantage per each round. Now, let's get to the rules, which will show you here how the rules go. What we're looking for is a 4 of a kind, which is the automatic knockout, or 3 of a kind, which will get the events, the special results, a cut, a foul, a knockdown, or an injury. A double-double or sequence gets an opportunity for something to happen in a round. A double-double would be, of course, a 2-2 and 1-1, or a sequence, which would be 4 in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. That gets you a chance. For there, you'll roll, and if you roll with 2 dice, you get 2 through 6, or 11 or 12. Then it's simply the special event. Otherwise, you'll use the results from the round, the added score for the dice roll to determine. So what we're going to do here, let's change this real quick because we're going to be rolling 4 dice at a time. Sometimes we're only going to need 2 dice. So simply put, we're going to change this second die. We're going to change that to a red, just for the intents and purposes of using it if we only need 2 dice. So we're ready to go. So let's go back to our match. We've got Macho Camacho and Lomachenko, 10 rounds of boxing. We're going to start with round number 1. And, of course, we'll start. Macho Camacho will roll. The advantage will usually go to the person in charge, or the person who won the previous round. But in this case, Camacho's in the blue corner, so he will get the roll first, then Lomachenko. Now, there are 3 judges for the match. Judge Blue, Judge White, and Judge Brown. Judge Blue will be based his score on the dice rolls themselves. So we'll show you how it works as we go along. So that score will be accurate based on the actual score of the dice. And they will be added up, etc. We'll go over that. Judge White will go strictly on who was the winner of the round based on the dice roll. Strictly put. 10-9 round to the winner by points. If it's a knockdown, then it's going to be usually a 10-8 round. 2 knockdowns in a round will be a 10-7 round. Okay? And then Judge Brown is the controversial judge, so to speak. If the score is within 5 points in the round, you're going to re-roll, and there's a chance that the underdog for the round, the boxer who had the least amount of points, the lesser amount, within 5, will actually win the round 10-9 based on that score, and we'll show you how it works. So, okay, round 1, here we go. Hector, Macho, Camacho, and Vasyl Lomachenko. Camacho will roll first. Here we go. First roll is a 3. A 3 is a 6, 8. So it's not a good score for Camacho. So he'll score an 8. We put it down in round 1. Okay. And now the stamina factor comes in. This is a new factor that was introduced in 4.0, version 4.0. You take those points, now you put it on the stamina base for Lomachenko. And you'll do the same for Camacho. Once that fighter reaches or surpasses their stamina point, they are now tired and they're weary and they're susceptible to injury or knockdown or knockout, and we would go to the stamina buster chart. Once they hit that rating, it remains for the rest of the fight, and the chances of something happening, a special event happening, increase as each round goes. So right now you look there, and we will have the added scores. We're going to go ahead and do that. We will add the score so you'll be able to see it on the auto sum. There we go, 8. And we'll do the same over here on the auto sum. And we're ready to go. So here now, let's go at Lomachenko. And remember, we'll show you what happens here. Lomachenko gets a 9, 10, 11. Not a big round for him either. So he scores at 11 that round. Okay. But, you see he has a 4-point advantage. So actually that becomes a 15. Because he got that 4-point advantage. So you're going to give him a 15 here. But the stamina will only count a true 11, as you can see. So it counts a true 11, not the 15, because you don't double dip. You don't give him the extra points based on the advantage. So as you can already see in dice boxing after round 1, a fighter with an advantage will have a great opportunity to win the match. Okay, like it should, because he's the favorite. So let's do our scoring for the round. We're not going to add Judge Blue to the end. But anyway, so Judge White will give a 9 to Camacho. Will give a 10 to Lomachenko based on the fact that it was a 15-8 round. And on the other side, it will stay the same, a 10-9 round, because it was a 7-point win in round 1 for Lomachenko. There's no need to re-roll to see if, indeed, Judge Brown will go the other way. So let's go to round 2. Round 2 scheduled for 10. Lomachenko will roll first since he has the advantage, and he rolls. And he gets a 6, 12, 13. 13 plus 4 is 17. Okay. and he gets a 13 up here, so that'll be 13 against Camacho for the stamina. And he's at, as you can see, an 86, so he's already at a 24. Now Camacho will roll. Uh-oh, there's the triple threes. That's going to be a trouble. So Camacho gets it. 6 and 4 is 10. Now what we're going to do is we're going to see here, because it was 3 in a row, and the black is the lead die on the chart, and we're going to get to the charts here. So he gets triple twos, 3 of a kind triple twos there. It's a cut chart. So there is a cut on Lomachenko. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the special chart. We'll move this out of the way if you want. All right. Cuts right here. He's got a cut. So we go to this chart, and we're going to use 3. We're going to roll 3 out of the 4, so we're going to negate the 2 lead, and we're going to use the 2 yellow and the red here and add them up to a roll of possibly 18. So we got a 6, 3, and 2. That's going to be 11. We come over to the 11. Bloody nose broken. We don't know, but there is going to be a TKO check. So bloody nose possibly broken. And we're going to check for a TKO. So let's go over here, back to our chart. So injured is Lomachenko. Bloody nose. All right. So that's going to give Camacho, if you look at the rules here, and we're going to go to the rules real quick. Camacho, because there was a broken nose, cuts, that's going to be a 10-point round plus the sum of the dice. 10-point round plus the sum of the dice. So Camacho had a 10. He's going to get another 10. That's going to be a total of 20 for the round. And that will count against the stamina of Lomachenko because it's 10 plus the 10. So a big round for Hector Macho Camacho. And now we have to check for a TKO. This will be check number 1 under the TKO chart. So is Lomachenko in trouble? We'll see. TKO check first one. Right here. We're going to look here. Roll 2 dice, and this will use the black and the red. Here we go. 6. No TKO. Again, TKO checks 3 or more in a fight. Then you roll even odd, but the first check, then there's a second check and a third check. So there is no TKO. Okay, and if we want, we can go ahead and mention this. No TKO. But the round is over. And now the round will go this way. Hector will win the round, so he wins it by 10. 10, and he'll get 10 there as well. And on either side, it will be go 9, 9. Let's go back. I'm sorry. We got to back here. Camacho got 20 in that round. And Lomachenko got 17. So that's what the round looks like. But now you can look at this and say, well, Lomachenko got a bloody nose, but wait a minute. Maybe Judge Brown's going to look the other way and going to give it to Lomachenko. So let's roll here. Let's go back to the rules real quick to see for Judge White. 2, 5, or 12, he'll reverse it. He will reverse it. It says unless there's been a knockdown or cut to the opponent. So in this case, there's a bloody nose, so it's an automatic 10-8 round would have still applied to the aggressive boxer. So there will be no check because there was a cut. So it's an automatic 10-8 round. So let's go back and change that. It's going to be a 10-8 round for Hector Macho Camacho, and it will apply to the other ones too. So there will be no check and a chance for reversal for Judge Brown. So we're now through 2 rounds of this fight. Round 3, Camacho wins the round, so he'll get the roll first. Here we go. 6, 12, 14. So he'll get a 14. That will go against Lomachenko. Stamina. 14, not a bad number. Now Lomachenko will roll. There is the sequence. 3, 4, 5, 6. What does that mean? First, let's add them up. 9 and 9 is going to be 18 if it stands. If it stands, we'll just put there a note. If it stands, but let's see if there's an injury or there's a problem here. Maybe a specialty outcome occurred. We got to go back there and see, did something occur? Again, our numbers we're looking for 2, 6, 11, or 12. 2 to 6, 11, or 12. Did something happen? 11. It did. We have a special outcome. Special outcome. Now we're going to re-roll again to see if it comes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to what had happened. We'll look at the black die. 4. A knockdown happened. A knockdown occurred. So we have a knockdown, and I'm just going back and forth here in the rules to get to the knockdown chart. So we have a knockdown, Lomachenko. So that's a big, big round for him. All right. So he automatically gets his 18. He's going to get his 4-point advantage, which is 22, and we have a knockdown. Lomachenko, if we look, is a 66.6% knockout artist. So we're going to go to that knockout chart. 66%, we're going to look under the green column. We're going to roll the 2 dice and see what happens. What kind of a knockdown is it? We're going to use the black and the red here. 6. Knockdown, count of 7. Knockdown, count of 7. Okay, so we're going to mark it down. Camacho is knocked down. KD, 7. Now we're going to roll to see, did another knockdown occur? Was it more than one? We've got to look. Let's go to our rules real quick. It says on knockdowns, a knockdown is worth 25 points. It's a 25-point round automatically. And auto TKO check the next round, causing the knockdown. But we've got to see if there's multiple knockdowns. Multiple knockdowns. The second knockdown is worth a 30-point round in a TKO check. A third knockdown in the fight, it's the automatic TKO. So, how do we do this? We roll 2 dice. If it is doubles or a sequence, it is a second knockdown. Doubles or sequence is an automatic second knockdown. So we're going to look at our black and our red and see what happens. We're looking for doubles or sequence. 2, 3 sequence. We've got a second knockdown. Second knockdown has occurred. Okay, so we're going to go back to our chart. Now we're going to look under the second knockdown. Now there's a chance Lomachenko is going to take him out. So we're going to look on the second one under the 66%. We're going to roll, and we're going to look at our black and red dice. It's 4. 4 is a TKO. It's over. It is over. 4 is a TKO. It is all over. And we're going to mark it down. KD. And then they're going to mark it automatic. The referee stopped the fight. Stops fight. And that is all she wrote, folks. This one did not last like I thought it might. Despite the fact that Hector Camacho did not have a bad round. So it's over. So it would have been a second knockdown. So it would have been a total of 30 plus his bonus, which would have given him 34. So all intents and purposes, we'll mark it down. So it would be 30 up here. He would have won the round with a big 34. And then it would have been a 10, in this case 2 knockdowns, so it would have been a 10-7 round. 10-7 both ways. Not that it matters. But we have a victor. Final outcome then will be Vasyl Lomachenko wins it with a third round TKO over Hector Macho Camacho. And we'll look at some final stat numbers. but this one did not go the distance. If you look at the stamina, Camacho was already 54. Lomachenko was at 42. Now we'll go ahead, since we're using Excel, we'll go ahead and add up the scores of the fight. And by the way, you can do this with 4Dice Boxing, because I'm giving you, automatically you're getting the PDF score sheet, but I'm also giving you the Excel file, so you can go ahead and use the file with your boxing score sheets and move it along. So there's the final stat numbers as Vasyl Lomachenko beats Hector Macho Camacho with a third-round TKO, knocking him down twice in the third round. Lomachenko coming back after getting that bloody nose in round 2. But if you look at the fight numbers, Camacho was losing on all 3 cards. He was down 68-42 as Judge Blue saw it. Judge White did have Lomachenko up 28-26 and vice versa 28-26. So this is a kind of a preview of how 4Dice Boxing goes. It is based on stats and stats only. You look at the ratings of the 2 fighters. You divide that out to see which fighter gets an advantage, and about that is added to the dice roll. The dice roll also affects the stamina of each fighter. There's a stamina buster chart, which I'll show you real quick. This would come into effect at the end of the fight. At what round they tie or go beyond that. So you would you would check to see, is there a stamina, is there a specialty event that happens in the fight at that round per round, and then you would roll it out to see. Okay, again, as you can see, there's headbutts, there's wrestling opponents, there's rabbit punching, there's all kinds of action that can happen in the fight. There's your knockdown. It's all based on the percentage of their abilities to knock out their opponent, and that goes to the first, second, and third knockdowns in the fight. Multiple knockdowns, there you check it to see what happens. Also, you check to see the TKOs and what happens. Of course, it increases the chances of a TKO with each time that you're checking. And that's basically how 4Dice Boxing operates, folks. It's all based on that. In the coming months, for the August edition, we're going to be putting out women in 4Dice Boxing. In September, we're going to be introducing another phase, and that is going to be the defensive phase, which is going to take into account their ability to get knocked out in a fight. So I hope you enjoyed it. This has been 4Dice Boxing, a lightweight showdown. Hector Macho Camacho and Vasyl Lomachenko. Enjoy. Thanks for watching.